Hi everyone, back to the More YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day. Weird one this actually. I don't even know which side of the fence it sits on, rant or thought. It's all about the man of the moment, the man of the bad moments. That is Harry Maguire, and he's going through a turgid time in his career right now. And I do feel sorry for him, I must admit, before I get into this. I really feel sorry for the lad. You know, he's had a great career. He's been a good player, for right through from Sheffield United, Hull, to Leicester, to Manchester United, to England. He's had a great career, but he's having a really testing time right now, and it's not going well. But that's football. Unfortunately, football can be like that, can be ups and downs. But obviously, Maguire's had a bad week. He's been away with England. People questioned his selection at the start of it, which I think they were right to question. He's not playing for his club. He's nowhere near fit. He's nowhere near sharp. He shouldn't even be anywhere near that squad, which is the point I want to make on this. I'm going to come back to this in a second. But he gets into the England team. He plays against Ukraine. Doesn't do too bad. But obviously the Ukrainian goal goes in. And sadly for him, the cameras all pan into him marking his own player, which is Mark Guy from Palace. That's the focus. That's the snapshot. That's the money moment. And everyone's going, oh God, Maguire again. Maguire, as Keane would say. So that's him under pressure there straight away. Scotland game comes in. England win 3-1. But everyone's talking about the Maguire own goal. Shot comes, hits him. I think Robertson cross shot, hits him, goes in the back of the net. All the Scotland fans are laughing, taking the piss out of him. He was getting jeered and all this kind of stuff. That's banter, that's football. That's the pantomime of football, especially in the Scotland and England game. You're always going to get that kind of a thing. But what really annoyed me about this thing was Southgate came out after the game. And he was quite angry, he was quite irate, and he said he thought it was a joke. He thought it was disgusting the way that Maguire was being abused and all this kind of stuff and everything else. But absolutely no ownership of Southgate putting him into that position, knowing that he's not playing for his club, knowing that he's not match fit, knowing that he's not sharp, putting him in a situation where he's going to be under the spotlight by the media, by the fans, by the footballing world to make mistakes because he is rusty and he isn't sharp. So the arrogance spewing out of Southgate's fucking mouth without him taking any single moment of ownership to say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have put him in. Maybe I should have played Lewis Dunk instead, who's on form, fit, firing in the Premier League. But he didn't do that. He blamed everybody else. And that's the thing about Southgate that really fucks me off. There's been times where England players have been abused and absolutely horrendously badly, and rightly so. Southgate comes out and condemns the fans for doing it, but this isn't one of those instances. Listen, people have stepped over the line, right, and I don't agree with that. And you know, some of the abuse is vile on social media. Listen, we're just a small podcast YouTube channel. We get abuse from trolls. You know, some of the bigger channels, my God, everything gets abused. The way they talk, the way they look, the clothes they wear, the tattoos they have, you know, any markings they have on their skin. These guys get dogs abuse. But in that moment, you have to decide whether you respond to it or you don't respond to it. And unfortunately, it can be the price on the ticket. The price for fame and notoriety is these shitbags come out and they come for you. But Maguire's had this throughout his career. Young footballers get coached about this when they're younger. They don't need Southgate to come out and start condemning everybody for behaving in such a way. The Scotland fans were just taking the piss. It was just banter. There was light-hearted banter. There was nothing untoward about that. Yes, people on social media may have went over the kind of tipping point, but everybody does that on social media. There's so many arseholes on there. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be John Smith working in a fucking factory. You don't have to be Harry Maguire to get abuse, you know. And that's a sad state of society, Southgate. But you know, coming out and just burying other people, not taking any ownership yourself, is weak management, bad management, in my opinion. You know, and look at his club as well. They should have let him go to West Ham in that transfer window. They should have made that happen. They could have made that happen if they wanted to. If they wanted rid of the player that badly, they wanted to look after the player, they should have facilitated a move away from the club. That's bad management again by Manchester United. To allow that player to think he's got a chance to get himself back into the picture when there's no chance of getting back into the picture is bad management by Ten Hag as well. So here's a kid in bits, transfer moves broken down. His club don't want him. His England manager's selecting him. He's rusty. He's out of practice. He's going to make mistakes. He has made mistakes, and now he's getting attacked. And the poor lad is probably, you know, chin to the floor. You know, he's poured his heart out on his mother's sleeve, and then his mother's gone off and shouting and bawled on social media, "Don't you talk about my son like that," says Mother Maguire. You know, and I know our heart's in the right place, right? And fair play. You know, everyone loves a mother, and a mother's love is unconditional. But listen, I would have left it alone because you're probably not going to help the lad out at all, to be honest with you. And mental health is a huge thing that people need to be aware of and talk about. And yes, abuse is wrong, right? But football, people are allowed to criticise and they're allowed to point out when they think someone's having a bad game. If they say he shouldn't be in the England squad, that isn't abuse. He is poor, that's not abuse. He is off the pace, that's not abuse. These are factual things, because he is poor and he is off the pace right now because he's not playing competitive football for his club, and he shouldn't be playing for his country, which is something that Gareth Southgate should be challenged on. And these weak piss reporters should have challenged him straight back on it when he said those words, instead of agreeing with it and letting the whole furore around, oh, you fans are so horrible, picking on poor Harry Maguire, and some of them are horrible, there's no doubt about that, but some of them are just football fans pointing out the obvious. Some of them are Scotland fans thinking it's hilarious that the guy's shite. That's their right to think he's shite. That's just football. That's the way it is. I saw an article from Jamie Carragher trying to blame Cristiano Ronaldo for Maguire's downturn in form. I mean, what in the flying fuck is that about? Honestly, that is unbelievable. Mike Phelan come out recently and said that Ronaldo lost the dressing room because his standards were too high. Whereas Cristiano Ronaldo, he's a perfectionist. He's like the opening credits for American Psycho. That's the way the guy is. You know what you were getting when you signed to Manchester United. Again, that goes back to how bad you are as a football club, signing that guy back just so he didn't go to City. But going back to Maguire, he's been failed by his club management. He's been failed by his England manager. He's been put in a position he should never have been in. And now he's having a real tough time of it because he's getting dog's abuse. His poor mother's trying to stick up for him. I think she's maybe jumped a little bit too far there. She should have chilled out a little bit. She's maybe a very angry Yorkshire lass, and she's just kicked off and jumped on the social medias and everything else as well. But the football fans are entitled to criticise. Don't step beyond the line. Don't abuse. I don't agree with that. But I don't believe that Gareth Southgate is right not taking the ownership on this particular instance. He should never have put him in that position. Southgate needs to take some ownership on that, and that's what I've got to say about this. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you agree or disagree with me, always welcome for the comments. We always like to read them. We always try our best to reply to them. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe, come and join. Loads of room for you here. Like the video, help the channel grow. There's a membership scheme if you're interested as well. Check it out below. That's me done for this rant. I'm going to go have a nice glass of water, try and get the rest of my man flu out of my system so I'm back to 100% myself, or I'll be getting criticised in the comments. Have a cracking day wherever you are, everyone. We'll see you later. Cheers, bye.